Good evening, everybody. Will Wiggleman here with you on the PHP Network. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Well, the last time the Prowlers were in this building, a 7-1 loss, their worst loss of the season. But the Rockers come in, dropping each of their last 3 games, including last night, a 5-3 win for the Prowlers at McMorran Place. And those 3 losses are the only 3 regulation losses for Motor City on the season. Can the Prowlers pick up a sweep against their I-94 rivals? We'll find out, and we'll have the game for you right here on the PHP Network.
Come fill McMorran Place at every Prowlers home game this season. General admission tickets are just $15 with discounts available for seniors, military, students, and children under 12. Upgrade your experience in one of our suites, or bring the whole squad to the game with discounts for groups of 10 or more. Find your best option to visit the Thumb Coast professional hockey team by visiting phprowlers.com and find the tickets tab, or call the box office at 810-985-6166. Secure your seats today.
Back here at Big Boy Arena, we're just minutes away from puck drop between the Prowlers and the Motor City Rockers. Second visit to Big Boy Arena this season for Port Huron. Let's take a look at the game last night back at McMorran Place, a 5-3 win for the Prowlers. Motor City took a 3-1 lead in the second period, a period that the Prowlers were dominating, but Port Huron did get that back. They were able to tie it up and eventually were able to take the lead in the third. It was a 3-3 game with 5 minutes to go. Dan Chartrand takes a penalty. Prowlers go to the penalty kill, and you think, oh no, here we go. A tied hockey game late, and Motor City has a chance on the power play, but just a few seconds in, a pass eludes Jamison Milam at the blue line and hops towards Motor City ice. Vinny DeCumbis hustles after it. He beats Ricky Gonzalez, who came out of his net for it, and he put it in the empty net. That went down as the game-winning goal. Liam Freeborn had a couple of tallies as well. Davide Gaeta, a goal and an assist, coming just a minute and 9 seconds apart in the second period, that helped turn the game from 3-1 to 3-all. And that goal for DeCumbis, the game winner, shorthanded, the first shorthanded goal of the season for the Prowlers. Well, a lot of movement in the Continental Division last night. No movement in the Empire. But in the Continental, you saw Columbus switch with Carolina after the Thunderbirds lost to Binghamton last night and the Dragons beat Mississippi. And then the Baton Rouge Zydeco have moved out of the basement of the Continental Division after defeating the Blue Ridge Bobcats. And Baton Rouge now in 5th place in the division with 11 points. Well, 3 players coming back from suspension tonight, 2 for Motor City, 1 for Port Huron. We take a look at one of the ones for Motor City in Declan Conway. He was serving a 2-game suspension, 5 goals, 9 points in 12 games this season. And for the Prowlers, Tucker Scantleberry, 3 goals, all coming against Mississippi in a hat-trick performance on the road a couple weeks ago. 7 points in 8 games. He was also serving a 2-game suspension. Let's take a look at the lineup for the Prowlers and what is going to look like really quick as they're sending us towards the national anthem very quickly right now. But Scantleberry will be part of the starting lineup along with Evan Foley and Dalton Jay, Frank Schumacher, Braden Deck on the back end, Davide Gaeta out, Scantleberry in for tonight's game as we send it down to ice level for tonight's national anthem. That is tonight's national anthem here from Big Boy Arena, and we are just about set to drop the puck momentarily. First, we'll give you the Orthopedic Associates starting lineup for the Port Huron Prowlers. In case you're just joining us and you missed it, it will be Tucker Scantlebury, Evan Foley, and Dalton Jay up front. Frank Schumacher and Braden Deck will start on the back end, and Makar Sokolov in net for the Prowlers. And we take a look at the starting goaltending matchup tonight. Sokolov coming in with a 3-1 record, 3.5 goals against average, and a .905 save percentage. He did take his first loss of the season in his last game in Carolina back on December the 1st, but did make 34 saves on 37 shots in that one. Trevor Babin back in the lineup for the Rockers after Ricky Gonzalez got the start last night. He is 7-1-3 with a .258 goals against average and a .926 save percentage. One of the best goalies in the FPHL, and certainly has the ability to steal games for his team. As we wait for the ceremonial puck drop, both fans and teams patiently waiting. We'll take one more look back at the lines for tonight. One change on defense, Braden Deck and Dalton Young switching pairings, and then with Scantlebury back in the lineup, he moves up to Evan Foley's line. Dan Chartrand goes down to the extra forward. Davide Gaeta is out. And Dalton Jay also moving up to Evan Foley's line. A little bit of shuffling with Liam Freeborn, or Jay and Sim, are just switching spots on those top two lines. The third line stays the same for the Prowlers tonight. And of course the change in net, Makar Sokolov going for Ian Wallace. Last night, Motor City had the advantage early on in the game, but then Port Huron came on in the second, late in the first and into the second period. We'll see if the Prowlers can get a better start tonight. As Evan Foley gets set to draw with Scott Kowash, who's out there with Roman Gaudette and Elias Thompson to begin this game. Jameson Milan and Ryan Rotundi, the defense pairing, and Thompson already trying to get Tucker Scantlebury to go right off the opening draw. Kowash takes it. We are underway. There's a quick shot back towards the net. Thompson just jumps Scantlebury. He's throwing punches. Scantlebury turtling. And that draws a crowd. We are 8 seconds in. And Thompson just jumps right on Tucker Scantlebury. They'll send Thompson to the box, and Scantlebury just a little bit smarter than that to engage with a guy like Elias Thompson. Scantlebury certainly not afraid to drop the gloves, but he won't do it if he doesn't have to. And he didn't feel like he had to in that situation. So Thompson is right now the only one in the penalty box, as the referees have some chatting to do very early on in this one. Your referees tonight, well, they don't have all the referees listed yet. One of the referees is Chris Rowe. One of the linesmen is Anders Gustafsson. But still so early that we don't have all the referees listed. Looks like the Prowlers will go to their first quality power plays. They've sent out a power play unit. Nothing is up on the board, though. And Prowlers bench trying to make sure that they put the time up on the board. So they'll have to redo that face-off. 2 seconds did come off the clock. This should be a Prowlers power play. And just 10 seconds into this one. It was 8 seconds, but a couple seconds came off on that false puck drop before they got the penalty up there. Still working on it at the big board here at Big Boy Arena. Right now they have both Scantlebury and Thompson listed on my penalty sheet for fighting, but Scantlebury's on the ice right now. And now they've put 5 minutes up for Thompson, so a major penalty to Elias Thompson. And now there's 5 up for Scantlebury, but Scantlebury's on the ice. Scantlebury's on the ice right. I can't keep reiterating that. They're still trying to figure things out, as right now they have 5 on either side on the board. And finally, they take down the 5 for Scantlebury, and we can get to a Prowlers power play that includes Tucker Scantlebury lining up on the wall on the left wing side. But it starts with a clear for Motor City. Prowlers power play 4th in the FPHL at 24.4%. Went 1 for 5 last night against the Rockers' second-ranked penalty kill. They have a full 5 minutes to work with, can score as many times as they like. Johnson walks in, fires, gloved and held by Trevor Babin. So they'll switch up the units here early on. Comes back out to center. To Cumbus. Up to the near side wall. Picard gets it deep. And all the way around. Ryder able to bang it all the way down. So good start for Motor City, at least on this penalty kill. There's 1 shot so far for the Prowlers. Or nearly a minute gone in the power play. As Merritt comes in. Fires it around towards Picard. Now Graham behind the net. In front looking for Merritt. That was knocked away. Giuliano's clear. Stopped by DeCumbus at the line. Jay walks in. Has plenty of space. Kicked out by Babin. The rebound fired high by DeCumbus. That may have hit a stick. Prowlers trying to keep it deep. Here's Graham. Out to Merritt in the slot. Couldn't handle it. Was able to get it over to Picard, though. From the outside, he shoots. And Babin makes the save. Jay out high to DeCumbus. 3:15 left to go on the Prowlers power play. Jay fed it right through the goal mouth. Comes off the boards back to DeCumbus. Prowlers in the midst of a change of their power play unit. As Jay fires it across to Tristan Sim. And that puck pops out for Josh Colton. He'll send it all the way down on net. And Motor City is able to change up the killers. 2 minutes gone in the Prowlers power play. Still just under 3 minutes left as Scantlebury weaves his way in. Puck finds Sim looking for Freeborn, who was wide open. But the pass was partially blocked away. Johnson over to Freeborn, right back. Now Scantlebury walks in, fires, save by Babin. The rebound bounced past Sim. Johnson to Scantlebury again, over to Freeborn. His shot just goes wide. Freeborn again, fires it across to Scantlebury. Johnson, right back. Johnson again. Chartrand holding his face, gets right back in front of the net. Scantlebury in, And his shot stopped by Babin. Chartrand knocked down again. And he'll give a shove back towards whichever rocker that is. It's Milam that he was battling with. Minute 55 left to go in the major penalty to Elias Thompson. The rare, unmatched fighting major. And now Chartrand having some words with Scott Kowash. Prowlers switching up the power play unit again. They have 4 shots so far in this man advantage. Make it 5 actually on the man advantage. And they win the face-off. Here's Jay. Feeds it down to Picard. Back up to Jalton Jay. Graham in the corner, held up by Colton. Merritt comes in for the puck. Picard up to Jay. They play catch. Now it's fired up to DeCumbus. Down to Graham. One touched around. Picard scores! The pass was for Merritt, but it came all the way through to Brandon Picard. Power play goal for the Prowlers. It's 1-0. And the power play will continue. 16:20 left to go in the opening period. Visitors on the board first. I believe that pass from Graham was looking for Sam Merritt, who was in the slot. He got tied up. It just bounced all the way through, and Picard had the open cage to work with as Babin was also playing the Sam Merritt shot from the slot. Minute 14 left of power play time for the Prowlers. Already up 1-0. Freeborn up the right wing side, fires it across to Scantlebury. He'll pull up, cycle it down deep. It's up in the air, and Babin reaches back to glove it and hang on. 57 seconds left on the power play for the Prowlers. Matt Graham, Sam Merritt getting the assists on Brandon Picard's team leading 10th of the season. Scantlebury takes Milam in hard. Freeborn hustling after the puck. Battle for on the near half wall. And now play is being blown dead as the net goes off the moorings. And if there are any Carolina Thunderbirds fans in the chat, no, that was not Ian Wallace who knocked the net off. It was Trevor Babin. No issues with the nets last night at McMorran Place. And from what I'm told, I did speak to the McMorran maintenance crew. They said the difference is that they drill the pegs all the way down into the concrete below the ice, whereas in most buildings, they only drill down into the ice, so the pegs are much more likely to come out and the net's more likely to move. As that one goes all the way down, back to Prowler ice, 25 seconds left on the power play. At the very least, the Prowlers do take the lead on this man advantage. Jay looking for more with speed to the net, and the backhander kicked out by Babin. Parsons tried to get it back on goal. That was blocked and sent all the way back down. That will take care of the final seconds of the Prowlers' power play, but it is a successful one as they get the first goal of the night. The man who scored it works in. It's Picard. Thought about the shot from the outside. Graham muscles his way on, and Jay sent it on net. And Babin gathers in the rebound. He'll hang on for a whistle. 14:35 left to go in the Munger Physical Therapy opening period. Brandon Picard on the power play as the Prowlers up 1-0. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
I'm proud to serve farmers because everything they do matters.
If I could choose one word to describe a farmer, I would say essential.
Dedicated.
Enterprising.
The most creative people.
They're providing food for the rest of the world.
Some of the qualities I look for when hiring is personality, perseverance, someone that's determined. We want to be able to hire someone that understands what we're supporting, and ultimately that's the grower.
Come fill McMorran Place at every Prowlers home game this season. General admission tickets are just $15 with discounts available for seniors, military, students, and children under 12. Upgrade your experience in one of our suites, or bring the whole squad to the game with discounts for groups of 10 or more. Find your best option to visit the Thumb Coast professional hockey team by visiting phprowlers.com and find the tickets tab, or call the box office at 810-985-6166. Secure your seats today.
.35 left to go in the opening period. Prowlers with a 1-0 lead on the strength of Brandon Picard's power play goal. And Alex Johnson has it at the point. He whiffed on the pass, and TJ Delaney hustling up ice, but Johnson gets back to tie him up. Paul Arnott, wearing number 67 tonight instead of 34 that he wore last night, is out there on the ice right now. It's the Rockers looking to tie things up. They continue the cycle in the near side corner. Coming out is Sneath. Tried to send it down deep. Giuliano looking to put it back out in front. Delaney, his centering feed taken away by Johnson. But Freeborn couldn't tip it out. Colton walks in. His shot blocked neatly by Johnson. Sim gets the red line, gets it in. Babin has to play it away from the oncoming Liam Freeborn. And he gets it up the wall to Declan Conway, back from a 2-game suspension. Conway with it back. Lost the handle, then threw a little reverse hit on Sam Merritt. Here's Conway in again, over to Glenn Robitaille, who had his first 2 pro goals last night. Was named the second star of the game. Koash head up. But the pass up to the Prowlers blue line ends up drawing his team off sides. Port Huron working on a breakout. Here's DeCumbus. Backhands it in deep. He and Wells go into the corner together. Rotundi up the near side wall. Koash dumps it out. Brian Parsons to Foley. Comes all the way over to Picard on the near side. Tried to rip one off of Rotundi, and then Jay put it back on net, and Babin was down, ready to make the save. Icing waved off, so Sokolov out to play it. He'll fire it over to the far side. Spintsov waiting for it, put it back on net. That didn't get all the way through. And out Jay, up to Scantleberry. Couldn't dangle around Milam at the Rocker blue line. Parsons dumps it deep. And the whistle blows. I think the Prowlers were still offside as Matt Graham went in to attack the puck. So they'll bring the faceoff all the way back down to Prowler ice. Prowlers up on shots right now at 9-0 in the early going. Milam over to Sneath, put it through, and Sokolov making his first save of the night. Milam off the wall and out. Sneath, who scored in his Rockers debut last night, overskated the puck there at center. Giuliano has it back. Arnott gave it away. Milam over towards Sneath, and he couldn't get it on goal. Freeborn back out. Drops it off to Johnson. across looking for Merritt. Sneath got his stick in the lane. There he comes back out. Schumacher took it away, sends it over to the far side. We approach 9 minutes gone in the opening period. 1-0 Prowlers. As Merritt sends it up high to Schumacher. Wrists it through. Blocked by Milam. Prowlers get back into offensive territory. Wells over to Conway. Made a move and fired it over to the far side to Robitaille. He'll fly in from the outside, shouldered away by Sokolov, and then Koash couldn't get the rebound back on net. Was Sokolov out of position? I think that may have been blocked by one of the Prowlers as Conway jumped up to glove it down, and that draws the whistles. That may be an offsides whistle, not a closing your hand on the puck whistle, as Conway was still in the Prowlers zone when he got the glove on it. 2 shots now for the Rockers, and one of them dangerous, as they almost tied the game on the rebound. Sokolov steers it around, but right into trouble. Delaney's shot was blocked, and now Jay went on a 2-on-1 with Scantleberry. Jay takes the shot, stopped by Babin. He didn't know where it was, but he has it. And he covers up for a whistle and a face-off. So Dalton Jay unable to beat Babin clean there on the 2-on-1 as he decided to shoot. Prowlers do get the offensive zone faced off. He did almost shoot it right through Trevor Babin. Off the draw, comes up high where Dalton Young puts it back deep. Chartrand cycles it down to Graham. Keeps it moving to Freeborn. Knocked down behind the net. Freeborn back to his feet with the puck. Moves it over to the near side. Giuliano and Chartrand going in there together. Taken away, Chartrand to Freeborn. Back to Chartrand. He couldn't get it to go on net. Young. Nice little dangle. Put it on. And it's scooped up by Trevor Babin. He'll hang on for a whistle. And we'll take a timeout. 9:27 to go in the opening period. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network. Back here in Fraser, 9:27 to go in period number 1. Prowlers with a 1-0 lead on the Motor City Rockers. And another offensive zone faceoff coming for Port Huron. Comes to the boards, and now behind the net, Rotundi with it. Trying to cycle it back near side, Tecumseh took it away. His centering pass was blocked. Young has it at the point, claps it through, and Babin slides to make the save. So Young with another shot on net. Babin was up to the task for. Shots on goal right now, 12-2 favoring the Prowlers. Been all over Motor City for much of this first period. So that one dribbles past the net. Picard from the outside. And Babin holding the post will make the save. That one launched all the way down, and icing called against Motor City with 9 minutes up on the clock, and the Prowlers will get to change up the troops. Evan Foley's line steps out. He will draw with Scott Kowash. Rotundi rims it around. Schumacher gets there with Conway. Foley back at center. Now over to the near side, it's Johnson. Gets the red line, dumps it in on Babin, took a hop, and Babin covers up with the glove. A little bit of choppier play here since that last TV timeout. A few whistles and not too much time coming off the clock. 8:44 still left to go in a one-goal game opening period. Delaney left it for Milam. Quick up to Svintsov. He couldn't get it out. Graham in the corner. Up to the top. Arnott sent it through. And Babin gloves it and holds it. Now Matt Graham will slide into the face-off circle with Brad Ryder. The draw to Babin's left. Milam sends it out. Johnson right back in. Tim Delaney. Waiting behind his own net. Looking for an outlet play. It's Makima dumping it in right on Sokolov. And he'll gather it in and cover up for a whistle and a face-off. With 8:02 to go in the opening period. We mentioned Paul Arnott. Last night he wore 34, tonight wearing 67. Last night was his first pro game since the 2021-22 season, although he did play a couple of semi-pro games last year with the Waterford Sharks in the MIHL. Merritt played it off the boards and out. Here's Wells. Gave it away to Picard at center. Decumbus trying to skate into it, but Wells got the long reach in there to break it up. Conway leaves it for Colton. Robitaille puts on the brakes and throws his way up ice. From the outside, those are right into the catching glove of Makar Sokolov, who will hang on for a whistle. Plenty of whistles, just the one goal though. 7:26 left in period one. Foley and Sneath in the face-off dot. TJ Delaney right behind Sneath, hoping for that quick shot. Puck's tied up, and Sneath looking to play it down deep. Pops out for him. Now over to Delaney. Cycles it on towards Sneath. Schumacher took it away momentarily. Now it's Giuliano, the veteran, taken into the wall by the rookie Braden Deck. Off the glass and out. Scantleberry got it to Rocker Rice. He has it again. It's poked through by TJ Delaney. Giuliano couldn't handle the pass. Now the Prowlers with an outright 2-on-1. Jay trying to join them to make it 3. But Scantleberry ripped it high and wide. Alex Johnson works it up to Graham. Backhands it in. Rimmed around to the near side. Are not pitching in. Battle for on the boards. Comes out Svintsov. His saucer pass knocked down by Matt Graham. Milam up to Brad Ryder. Knocked down by Arnott. Freeborn gets it out. Rotundi trying to turn it right back the Prowlers' direction. That puck comes all the way down. Icing waved off as Johnson taken in hard with a big hit by Brad Ryder. Now Conway with a steal keeps it in the Prowlers' zone, but then his pass ends up coming outside the blue line. Milam has to dump it right back in. Rockers in the midst of a change as the Prowlers look for the breakout. Here's Parsons getting the red line, fanning on the first dump. And then his second dump right on the tape of Milam. Rotundi back out. Comes all the way down on Sokolov, and he will cover up for a whistle. And Parsons telling the rookie Robitaille, hey, you have to stand this far away from my goaltender. Parsons still with some words for a couple of Rockers. As the faceoff will come to Sokolov's right. And Kowash kicked out of the faceoff, so Conway will come in to take it. Young plays it around his own net. Here's Tim Delaney. Off the wall, trying to get it out. Robitaille at center. He'll turn on the Jets. Robitaille on the backhand, lifted over top. Under 5 to play in the opening period. Foley taken into the wall by Kowash, who takes the puck out. Kowash makes a move around Foley, and the puck is knocked off his stick. And Chartrand moves the other direction. Parsons was knocked down behind the play. Sokolov looking for a penalty, but he won't get one. As here's Giuliano. The high flip, glove down by Braden Deck. And then the whistle blows. We'll take a timeout. Not sure what the whistle was for, but we will go to a break. Still 1-0 Prowlers, 4:26 to go in the opening period. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
Mac and cheese is up.
Mac and cheese pizza? Mac and cheese pizza.
That's right, the new mac and cheese pizza from Hungry Howie's. Mac and cheese, mozzarella, panko breadcrumbs, and our famous flavored crust. Only for a limited time.
Hungry
Howie's! .426 left to go in the Munger Physical Therapy opening period. Will Wiggleman with you on the PHP Network. Thanks so much for joining us tonight for some Battle of I-94 action. Prowlers took a 5-3 win at McMorran Place last night. Their first victory over the Rockers this season, as Motor City took the first 4 games of the series this year. Puck pops out. Dalton Jay flying up with it. Tried to give it over to Schumacher, but it hopped up in the air. Jay back with it, gets it deep in Scantleberry's direction. Sneath able to cut it off, but his pass off of TJ Delaney's skate. And the big Delaney fires it up ice. Johnson, Graham tips it along, sliding down right on net, so no icing. Colton pulls up over to Rotundi. Colton again up towards Elias Thompson, who took a 5-minute major. There's 10 seconds in that allowed the Prowlers to score. Sokolov with a blocker save on Koash from the outside. Now driving the net was Svintsov, and Sokolov able to get down to block it. But a penalty is coming up. Hooking is the signal. And I believe it will be against the Prowlers. Alex Johnson, the one heading to the box. So see the first Rockers power play. This Prowlers penalty kill straightened up by True Balance Chiropractic. Last place PK in the league, but continues to slowly go up. 71.4% now. Rockers power play still tops in the league at 28.3%, despite going 0 for 3 last night. And of course, that's the unofficial number, with the power plays in this league. Occasionally, you see power plays being given for fights and coincidentals and things like that. Parsons fires it all the way down. Milam over to the right wing side. Makima flies in with it. On the outside, Sokolov holds on for a whistle and a faceoff. So both teams will switch up their units. 30 seconds gone in the penalty to Alex Johnson. Giuliano at the top. Over to Colton. Back to Giuliano. Colton again. Wrist shot deflected wide. And Schumacher fires it the length of the ice. That one took a strange hop, but ends up on Colton's stick. He turned it over. Foley was surrounded by purple jerseys. Colton takes the puck back. Koash rims it around. Under 2 to play in the period. And that one goes in. Conway sent it on net from the corner, and it finds its way through. Rockers respond with a power play goal of their own and tie the game up at 1. Unfortunately, I could not see what happened from my vantage point. I don't know if that was touched on the way through or not. But either way, it is a 1-1 game now with 1:45 left to go in period 1. It's off the draw to Cumbus. Sends it in. Picard from the outside sent it right through the crease. Johnson across to Picard. His shot kicked out by Babin. Johnson battling with Svintsov for the puck. Comes across to the far side. Arnott got it as far as Milam, who kept it in. Milam puts it through. And now Svintsov goes down away from the play. The Prowlers are going to get another penalty here. Interference is the call, and with under a minute to go in the first, Sam Merritt is off to the penalty box. And a second Rocker power play is coming up. So TJ Sneath will lead his unit out there along with Koash, Conway, Colton, and Giuliano. Graham able to win the faceoff back, but the clearing attempt was blocked. And Koash sent it across to Colton. Walks, gives back to Koash, winds. Colton, his shot was eaten up by the stick of Chartrand and flies out of play. The Rockers don't score. This penalty will leak into the second period. Graham and Sneath coming back in. And it comes over to Chartrand, who's able to send it down. Colton sends it up to Koash. Now Giuliano off his stick. Comes back out to center, 20 seconds to go in the opening period. Schumacher fires it all the way down on a one-timer. 10 seconds left in the period. One more rush for Motor City. Koash with 5. Gets to the Prowler blue line, drops it off for Sneath with 2 on his backhand, just floats it through. Hits the back wall, and that's going to do it for 20 minutes of play here from Big Boy Arena. And the Prowlers and the Rockers knotted up at 1 goal apiece, and Scott Koash is hanging out over by the Prowlers bench as they try and exit the ice, and now he'll head over to his own dressing room. Shots on goal in that opening period, 15 for the Prowlers, 8 for the Motor City Rockers. Brandon Picard and Declan Conway have the goals, as we are knotted up at 1 goal apiece after 1 period of play. Coming up in the first intermission, I sat down with Prowlers head coach Matt Graham as we've hit the quarter season mark, and we'll get his report on how the season is going so far. And we'll have that for you next, along with the storylines around the FPHL. It's all coming up right here on the PHP Network. We'll get your holiday shopping done at the Port Huron Prowlers Team Store, featuring shirts, hats, decorations, and more, with new items coming in all the time. Come find us on the west end of McMorran Arena at every home game, or online anytime at prowlersmerch.com. You can scan the QR code on your screen now to visit the online store. Look your po-ho best with gear from the Prowlers Team Store. 1-1 through 20 minutes. We'll be right back with head coach Matt Graham's quarter season report. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
I've worked at Pioneer and now Corteva for 36 years. It goes by very quickly.
This is a pretty noble profession where you're giving back to humanity.
Curiosity is so important. I learn something new every day.
What's that next challenge that may occur for farmers? You do really feel like you've got an impact on what's coming.
I can see how we're making things better.
And we have the best solutions for our farmers. And I think we're here to feed and fuel the world. I'm proud to be part of that culture, and I'm proud to be part of the company.
Mac and cheese is up.
Mac and cheese pizza? Mac and cheese pizza.
That's right, the new mac and cheese pizza from Hungry Howie's. Mac and cheese, mozzarella, panko breadcrumbs, and our famous flavored crust. Only for a limited time.
Hungry
Howie's!
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com.
So before we talk about the season as a whole so far, we'll start with the moves from this week. Matthias Tellstrom's traded to Baton Rouge, and Matt Stoyer released what went on this week to facilitate those.
Yeah, so I guess I'll start with Matt Stoyer. So, he's a guy that's obviously from in town. We talked to him quite a bit this offseason. Thought he'd be a major piece coming in. But as summer progressed and the season got started, he had some other commitments that he had to attend to, financially and stuff as well. So it's a situation where we couldn't get a 100% commitment out of him at this time. So we've discussed with him on and off over the past month or so on what the commitment level would be and what we would need from him. And I think he's going to work for the time being, and then we're going to revisit this maybe in a month or two, see where we're at. And then hopefully we can get him to join full time at that point. Obviously, he's a great player, and we'd love to have him. One of the most skilled defensemen in the league, and he can be lethal. Just need him to take care of what he's taking care of, and we need to continue to build here with what we have to better both of our situations. Matthias Tellstrom, this offseason we made a move. We traded Dylan Thackeray to Watertown for Telly. I think that, him being suspended for 10 games kind of played a role in this as well, too. I think if he would have gotten to establish himself a little earlier on and solidify himself in the lineup, continue to progress in the areas of the game that we need our forwards to progress in, maybe we wouldn't be talking about this right now. But I think going through practice for about a month and a half and then coming into game situations wasn't exactly where we needed him to be at this time. And that with the addition of, Freeborn back, Scantlebury back, Chartrand back, just wasn't able to make it work at this time. We're pretty loaded up front with talent forward-wise. We got some dogs up there too that, we got to get on both sides of the puck. So he filled a role that we had a surplus of. So I thought it'd be best for, not just him, but us to move on from him and give him a better opportunity in Baton Rouge.
And you talked about Freeborn, Scantlebury, Chartrand, those guys joined the team a little bit into the season. How did that change the dynamic of your forward unit?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, anytime you can add 3 forwards to the group of 10 that you have, that's going to change you quite a bit. I think that obviously getting Tucker back, I think he was the first domino to fall, was significant. He's a guy that has the ability to take over games, as we saw last year in the playoffs with Carolina. Chartrand back, I think, after developing last year. He's really solidified himself as an energy guy here. He's a responsible player who plays both sides of the puck. He's an important guy on the PK for us as well. And as of late, he's shown that he's willing and able to stick up for his teammates and give us a little toughness to the lineup as well too. I mean, last night he took on Elias Thompson, who's he's in the league just to get out there and mix things up. So it's nice to have a guy that is able to stand up to him. Freeborn, obviously one of the most skilled players in the league. He's on a torrid pace points wise for us. Getting him back from Peoria originally was something that was unexpected, and then he had the opportunity last week to go back up and get a taste of regular season action there. So I think, just the addition of guys like that to the lineup really complement the hard work and 200-foot players we have. To add some offense and some skill into that as well too is crucial, especially when you're trying to build a championship team. If we can continue to add complementary pieces to his game as well, it's only going to make us, deeper down the stretch.
Then looking at the back end, you guys have been dealing with injuries on the defensive side. What have you been doing to try and overcome that?
Yeah, I think, starting from day one, I think, we had what we thought coming into the season was going to be one of the best top 6 defensive units in the league. And then obviously the loss of Stoya kind of hurts that a little bit. I think Braden Deck coming in has been a significant surprise for us. I wasn't really sure what to expect in the off season with the signing of him, but he's shown a commitment to buy in and playing the game the way we ask. He's very detail oriented. Paulie would call him a savage, but he's a guy that he was a significant surprise. Obviously, it hurts losing a guy like Adam Heinzel. He's one of the toughest players to play against in the league, I would say. And then we even had to move Federley back there for a little bit once we were shorthanded. And then, we lose him obviously to a broken hand or whatnot. So it's tough. We're trying to overcome these losses. But, last night, adding a guy like Paul Arnott into the lineup, who's a veteran of the league, not necessarily skating every day or in the best shape, unless the best shape is round, I guess. But adding a guy like that who's makes good decisions with the puck and has some poise back there, it was interesting. I didn't expect what we got out of him last night, but he was easy one of our top 4 defensemen last night. So glad to have guys like that around and that have been part of the organization that we can just call on a whim and be like, hey, like we need a guy. Can you help us out? But I think moving forward, obviously, we hope to get Heinzel back in the next week or two. Federley should be back in the next week or two as well. So our roster is going to change significantly here in the coming weeks, and makes tough decisions for us, but it's part of the job. So,
and then in the crease, you had 3 goaltenders. Now you're back down to 2. Is there any word on when Chris Paulin might be joining back up and get in there?
Yeah, I should pull him in here for this segment, right? It's tough with a 19-man roster. You can really only keep 2 or 3 goaltenders depending on what you want to do with an extra position player spot. Having 2 is kind of the goal, especially with Paulie being out right now. We expect him to return here in the next month or so, I guess. His timetable's, maybe he's Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. His timetable's shifting a little bit, so we're trying to evaluate that the best we can. Having Tucker Tynan here come in from not playing a whole lot last year. He's a high level goaltender who we're excited to add to the fold. Obviously, he gets called up to Fayetteville. Guys with resumes like that usually do when they play well. But Wallace and Sokolov have been we know what we get in those guys. We're very confident in our goaltending situation. I said that when we added Tynan as well. I said, we're very confident in what we have. I feel like we could roll any of those guys out there on any given night, and they give us a great chance or the best chance to win. It's a battle in the crease. It usually is. And I think it'll be good to add Paulie back when we get him back here in the coming weeks.
And that was indeed the Prowlers head coach, Matt Graham, with his quarter season report. And as I mentioned, the full version of that interview will be uploaded to the PHP Network YouTube channel following tonight's game. 1-1 in the first intermission here at Big Boy Arena between the Prowlers and the Motor City Rockers. Let's take a look around the FBHL at our out-of-town scoreboard. They're just dropping the puck in Danbury. No score there. But the first intermission in Carolina after a 2-1 final score last night for Binghamton. It's 4-2 through just 20 minutes of play. 4 different goal scorers for Carolina as they had a 4-0 lead just 10.5 minutes into the game. But the Black Bears did get 2 back before the end of that opening period. So 4-2, the score in Carolina. Coming up at 7:05, Columbus and Mississippi. In Columbus, they'll battle for the second straight night after Columbus won 6-4 last night. And the Blue Ridge Bobcats will face the Baton Rouge Zydeco for the second straight night in Baton Rouge, after last night's penalty-filled affair that turned out to be a 5-2 Zydeco win, and that win pulled Baton Rouge out of the basement of the Continental Division and sent the Bobcats down to last place in the division. Take a look at some storylines around the FPHL, and as we just mentioned, Zydeco beating the Bobcats at home, dropping Blue Ridge down to last place in the division, and reinforcements are on the way for Baton Rouge as well, as Edgar's Ozelinch signed with the Zydeco yesterday, or the other day, after being acquired via trade from Elmira back on November the 30th. He played with Columbus last season. And the Binghamton Black Bears extended the 4-game PTO for Thomas Ray. He'll get another 4-game PTO after 8 points in 13 games this season as a member of the Black Bears. And that move being announced today, along with a number of players returning from suspensions. That was most of the transactions today in the FPHL. You see, we turn back to tonight. Each team with a power play goal. The Rockers will have the man advantage to start this second period of play. So both teams, 1 for 1 on the power play so far. And the Prowlers did get a 5-minute major that they were able to score on. And they outshot the Rockers 15-8, really dominated the first part of that period, but once the penalties started coming in, the Rockers started to turn things around really quickly before we get to puck drop. Our PHP Network trivia question, Glenn Robitaille scored his first pro goal last night for Motor City. Who's the most recent Prowler to score his first pro goal this year? You have 4 options. There are only 4 players on the team who scored their first pro goals this season for Port Huron, but put your answer in the comments section. Again, we're looking for the most recent Prowler to do it. 52 seconds left on the penalty to Sam Merritt. As the Rockers move up, it's Reiter behind the cage. Smintsov out high, Milam winds, feeds, Reiter sent it wide on the blocker side of Sokolov. That net is off its moorings, but they continue play. And now they'll stop play after Sokolov forced to make one more save. That same net that Trevor Babbitt had an issue with in the first period now comes off its moorings again. .31 seconds left on the penalty to Sam Merritt. Or 31 seconds gone in this Hungry Howie's second period. As Matt Graham wins the face-off back clean, comes over to Tecumseh. He'll send it all the way down. Josh Colton gives it up to Giuliano, now on to Sneath. Dangles his way in, back to Giuliano. Around the net to Conway, one-timer, blockered away by Sokolov, fired all the way down, and that should take care of the final 5 seconds. Merritt's penalty, and we're back to 5-on-5. Colton. Is it to Rotundi? His pass to Koash was deflected away by a Prowler stick. Scantlebury up the wall, right to Picard. Now it's knocked over to Foley on the backhand. Stops up in the corner. Schumacher D-to-D across deck, just kept it in. This shot goes off of Svintsov's stick and lands in the near side corner again. Scantlebury makes a move. Tried to turn it on net. It was blocked by Rotundi, and Picard almost got it on the redirect. Picard's lost his stick. He'll have to go collect it. Foley comes in to join the board battle. Pops out to Picard, walks in, fires, and caught the back glass. Svintsov up towards Koash. Schumacher fires it back up for the Prowlers. Scantlebury winds and fires, kicked out by Babin. The rebound off the side of the cage, pops right into the breadbasket of Trevor Babin, and he'll hang on for a whistle. And now Rotundi going after Tucker Scantlebury, who is digging for that rebound. So the Prowlers survive the power play. 2 shots on net for Motor City on the man advantage, both of them coming here in the second period. The Rockers power play down to 1 for 2 tonight. Graham and Sneath in the face-off circle. Graham wins it back clean. Parsons gets it deep. Young coming in to keep the play alive, and he does. Now Giuliano works it up to Sneath. Over to Wells. Jumping in on the rush. Feeds it over to Giuliano. Back to Wells off his skate. Wells has it again back to center. That's TJ Delaney, excuse me. Young up to Graham. Looking for Sim, just slid under his stick. Milam off the wall. Here comes Sneath hustling through center. Looking for Conway, knocked away by Young. Tried to make a move around Robitaille behind the net. Comes back to Dalton Young. Backs up. And now on for Sim. Freeborn comes in with Merritt. Tried to get a shot away. It was blocked by Wells. Long lead pass up by Milam. And Arnott knocks down another rocker. It was Declan Conway this time. Prowlers back with numbers, but they're off sides. Picard on the near side. Just a stride too early, and it's been a bit of a recurring theme at times for the Prowlers this season. Off sides at the line, especially when they get odd man rushes. And it bites them again on that play. Face off one back by Motor City. Tim Delaney looking to start the breakout behind his own net. Goes off the far boards. Arnott turns it the other direction. Ryder will just send it in. Johnson turning on Makima. Fed down to Tim Delaney in front. One more pass. And Makima shut down by Sokolov. Beautiful passing play by the Rockers. Arnott knocks down Spintsov. Prowlers the other direction. Foley on the backhand, kicked out by Babin. Foley again trying to center. Lofted to the line, glove down by Deck. Spintsov able to take it and spit it on for Makima. Dumps it in, kicked out by Sokolov, right to a teammate. Scantleberry pulls up. His pass cut off by Thompson, though. Now Foley in. Kowash up the wall. Schumacher tried to dump it back deep. Whistles blow. And it looks like Prowlers were offsides as Schumacher was sending that puck back in. We'll take a break. 5:08 gone in the Hungry Howie's second period. Still 1-1. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
I'm proud to serve farmers because everything they do matters.
If I could choose one word to describe a farmer, I would say essential.
Dedicated.
Enterprising.
The most creative people.
They're providing food for the rest of the world.
Some of the qualities I look for when hiring is personality, perseverance, someone that's determined. We want to be able to hire someone that understands what we're supporting, and ultimately that's the grower.
Come fill McMorran Place at every Prowlers home game this season. General admission tickets are just $15 with discounts available for seniors, military, students, and children under 12. Upgrade your experience in one of our suites, or bring the whole squad to the game with discounts for groups of 10 or more. Find your best option to visit the Thumbcoats professional hockey team by visiting phprowlers.com and find the tickets tab, or call the box office at 810-985-6166. Secure your seats today.
Back here at Big Boy Arena, they drop the puck quick. And it's fired in right on Sokolov. He'll scoop it up for a whistle and a face-off. So come all the way down to Prowler territory. Giuliano to draw with Graham, former teammates with the Prowlers. Back when Giuliano was there. Giuliano in his 10th FPHL season. Freeborn's fired a pass across that eluded Sim. Pass to TJ Delaney was missed, but he's able to outrace the icing. Young turns it up the other direction. Graham. And his pass pop up in the air. Quick up to Delaney. Enters the zone with Giuliano. Working to the net. And then Giuliano follows it up and scores. The first shot stopped by Sokolov. Giuliano from a sharp angle, able to roof it. And the Rockers take a 2-1 lead. We're just talking about the 10-year veteran Giuliano with his 5th of the season, 119th of his long FPHL career. Just following up the play. Now Babin has trouble with it, and Merritt got a shot away, but Babin slides back to make the save. Spintsov up to Ryder. Back in towards the net. Makima from the outside had his shot blocked, and Tim Delaney racing back for it. Arnott, watched by Spintsov. Ryder holding it up along the wall. Foley tried to touch it for Decumbus. Now Chartrand starting to move up ice. 3-on-2 for the Prowlers. Chartrand across, Arnott back in front. And he couldn't find a friendly stick. Up the turnover, Foley gives it to Jay, gets it to the forehand, shot blocked by Makima. Deck gets the red line, gets it deep. That one flipped high and out. Lands on the stick of Pavel Svintsov. Looking towards Koash heading to the net. And Koash and Deck were driving the cage, and Deck ends up falling down and knocking the net off. 12:46 left to go in the second period. TJ Delaney picking up the only assist on Jonathan Giuliano's goal. Delaney back after serving a one-game suspension. As they fix the net, that goes behind Makar Sokolov. Foley and Koash in on the draw. Conway lined up right at the top of the circle. See there on your screen. Faceoff pops out to the middle, and the Prowlers get it out. Jay leaped to knock it down with the glove, but it was too high. Schumacher up to Picard. Gets in, fires, and catches the glass. Schumacher kept it in. Deck around to Picard behind the net, centered. Comes all the way through. Jay behind the cage again, Picard. Schumacher sent it all the way around. Robitaille there first, and he gives it over to Rotundi. Rotundi has it again. Gives it over to Colton. Lead pass looking for Conway, and Conway did not touch that puck, so it's an icing against the Rockers with 11:50 to go in the second period. The faceoff will come all the way down to Trevor Babin's end. Matt Graham will take the offensive zone faceoff against TJ Sneath. Late change for Motor City as Josh Colton's heading off the ice. Graham wins it right back to Freeborn. To the point, Parsons walks, sends it through. That hit a couple bodies in front. Graham after it. Comes up to Giuliano, now Delaney. This is the line that scored on their last shift. As that shot kicked out by Sokolov. Freeborn couldn't chop it past Milam. And now the Prowlers moving the other direction. Freeborn has Johnson going to net, gets it there. Johnson couldn't find the target. Babin may have gotten a piece of that one as he reached the glove up off the saucer pass from Liam Freeborn, the shot by Alex Johnson. Freeborn weaving through center again. Sim back to Freeborn. Couldn't get it off on the backhand. Whistles blow. The referee in the near side corner has his arm in the air. He signals a hook, and TJ Sneath is heading to the box. So Freeborn does draw a power play for the Prowlers. The second quality power play of the night, which is 1 for 1 so far tonight. It looks like they're kicking Dan Chartrand out of the faceoff, and they'll drop it again. Scantleberry and Makima now to take the draw. Makima wins it back. The Prowlers in hard on the puck, able to keep it in. Now they work to set up. Out high, Freeborn to Johnson. Now Scantleberry. Johnson again, the one-timer, steered away by Babin. Freeborn walking in, finds Sim. Johnson at the top, over to Scantleberry, walks in, glove save by Trevor Babin. Couple of good shots for that power play unit. They'll switch up 32 seconds into the man advantage. Milan able to pick it up and fire it all the way down off the faceoff. Svintsov coming right in on Sokolov, so he'll play it off the far side boards. Merritt gives to Picard, who enters the offensive zone. Picard rims it around to Cumbus in. Now Graham behind the net. Over to Merritt. To Cumbus at the point. He gets that pass right back. Jay quickly down to Picard. Continue to whip it around. Jay walks in, over to Graham, towards Merritt. It came all the way for Jay, and Babin made the save on the guy he wasn't sure was going to be the one taking the shot. Picard looking towards Chartrand, who is driving the post. Puck back to center. Jay played it in, but offside for the Prowlers. 22 seconds left on the penalty to TJ Sneath, and the power play will resume when we come back. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the PHP Network. Back here at Big Boy Arena, Prowlers with 22 seconds left on their man advantage, 9:23 left to go in period number 2. Prowlers already with 3 shots on the power play. Babin's been up to the task for all 3, and all 3 have been some pretty good chances. And now they'll take the face-off outside of Motor City territory after the Prowlers offside just before the break. Alex Johnson over to Freeborn. Freeborn dangling his way in, trying to pass it off. Johnson just kept it in at the line, but that's poked away. Lead pass on for Delaney. Stick lifted nicely from behind by Freeborn. We're back to 5-on-5 as Sneath is out of the box. Freeborn on to Chartrand. One more to Scantleberry, backhander. I don't think that got through. 2-on-1 developing if they hurry. Delaney, quick shot, he scores. Delaney over the glove hand of Makar Sokolov. It looked like he may have been playing the pass a little bit. Has made it a 3-1 Motor City lead. Yeah, Tristan Wells coming down the other side. And Sokolov looked like he may have started to lean a little bit to that side and open up a A little bit of extra space over the glove hand on the short side, and that's where TJ Delaney went, as he picks up his 3rd goal of the season. Battles for on the near side half wall. Pops out to Deck, looking for Decumbus, but the Prowlers are iced the puck. With 8:17 left to go in the middle period. So Delaney from Sneath and Colton. Delaney coming up with his 2nd point of the night. Sneath with his 2nd assist. 3 Rockers now with 2 points, in addition to Jonathan Giuliano. Now here's Picard off a steal, shoots, and it's stopped by Babin. Pop back out in front, cleared to the wall. Deck just fired it on net. That hit a Rocker's skate and just dribbled wide. Picard put it right through the crease. Schumacher down to Merritt, off his stick, back up high. Schumacher again. This time he wrists it on net. Picard on the rebound. Couldn't get it to go. Deck winds and fires, blocked away by Babin. Prowlers working hard for a response, trailing by 2. This time puck fired all the way down. Icing waved off though. Johnson, lead pass on for Foley, gives it to Jay. He just whipped that puck wide. I think it may have been on edge when he let it go. Foley knocks it down at the blue line. Scantleberry drags and tried to shoot off of Rotundi. Scantleberry kept it in. Foley out to Scantleberry, just couldn't load it and fire. Arnott steps up to keep it alive again. Foley looking towards the back door. Scantleberry knocked out in the crease, and there's going to be a penalty. Now Rotundi going after Evan Foley. He's the one heading to the box. So Rotundi gave a little shove to Scantleberry from behind. Prowlers back to another quality power play. Chance to get back in this game. With 6:34 left to go in the 2nd period. Cross-checking is the signal. So your referees tonight, Chris Rowe and Kevin Mallon. The linesmen, Brian Thurnauer and John Tollew. Off the face-off, Merritt wins it back to Cumbus. Down the wall towards Graham. He's hassled by, looks like TJ Wells. And TJ Delaney takes it out and dumps it all the way the length of the ice. To Cumbus. Leaves it for Merritt. Cumbus has to go back for it again. 30 seconds gone in the power play. Picard off the wall. Graham chasing after it. He and Wells get there together. Koash in there as well. 3 Prowlers and 2 Rockers digging for it behind the net. Pops out towards Picard. He walks up high. Feeds it down low. Graham across the J! What a save by Babin! Sliding across them. A backhander by Graham wouldn't go. Highway robbery from Trevor Babin. As Jay had a one-timer on the backside, Babin will glove and hold the shot from the point. Wow. What a save by Trevor Babin to keep this a 2-goal game. Prowlers got exactly what they wanted on that power play. And Trevor Babin comes up with the stop. 51 seconds left to go on the power play. They'll line up for another face-off. Comes to the point, Johnson over to Freeborn, walks in, shoots. Another glove save by Trevor Babin. And this just looks like one of those games where Trevor Babin is locked in. There are a lot of those games. Prowlers were the victims of it a few times last year, especially in this building, where they outplayed the Rockers but just couldn't beat the Babin wall. Sim in the corner, behind the net. Chartrand. Now Scantleberry. Walking down the boards, curls back, gives to Johnson. Scantleberry again. Johnson over to Freeborn. Scantleberry to Johnson, one-timer, sent it wide. Johnson coming back for the puck as the final seconds ticking off the Prowler power play. Freeborn back in, Johnson gloves it down, back to 5-on-5, Graham, and he sent it just wide. Rotundi out of the box, trying to play it. Johnson down on the ice, doing all he can. He's back to his feet. Puck pops out, Graham around the cage, sent it right through the crease. Scantleberry the shot, right into the chest of Trevor Babin, and he'll hang on for a whistle. Now Rotundi and Chartrand getting involved in some extracurriculars. The Trevor Babin Show here in this second period. 4:08 left to go, and we'll take a timeout. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers Hockey on the PHP Network.
Mac and cheese is up.
Mac and cheese pizza? Mac and cheese pizza.
That's right, the new mac and cheese pizza from Hungry Howie's. Mac and cheese, mozzarella, panko breadcrumbs, and our famous flavored crust. Only for a limited time.
Hungry?
Howie's! 4:08 left to go in the second period, and Trevor Babin is earning his money tonight. He has made 28 saves on 29 Prowlers shot, a couple of 10 bellers here in the last few minutes, especially the one on Dalton Jays. He got the pass back door for a one-timer, and Babin reached out with the glove to make the stop. It stays 3-1. 4:08 left to go in the second period. Prowlers had 3 shots on that power play. Looks like they're checking the net behind Trevor Babin. They've been a hole in the mesh. They fixed that. We're ready for a face-off between Scott Koash and Sam Merritt. One back, Picard rips it, and Babin may have gotten a piece of that with the glove. Robitaille leaves it for Wells, and then that one went off of Picard's stick, and Babin forced to make another save. Schumacher curling away from Robitaille, but right into Koash, who takes the puck. His saucer pass ends up going to Parsons. Shot knocked down in front by a body. I think it hit Picard. That one lofted all the way down the ice, and the Prowlers will get there for icing. With 3:32 left in the second period. Evan Foley's line steps out, and it will be Scantlebury to take the face-off. Wins it back, Foley gets to the middle, and a shot blockered out of play by Babin. So now Motor City gets an opportunity to switch up the forward unit. They send out Jonathan Giuliano's line. Sneath in the draw against his 17 opposite Scantlebury. Johnson fed it down low. To a side scrum in the corner. Colton plays it to Delaney. Just gets it out of the zone. Foley recovers at center. Comes on Foley, able to pick it up, but he couldn't get the shot away. Scantlebury took a hit from TJ Delaney. They blow the whistles. That puck was a hand pass. That's the reason for the whistle. So the face-off will come just outside of Prowler territory. Under 3 to play in the second period, a 3-1 Motor City lead. And you can't say it's for lack of trying for the Prowlers. At least offensively, putting everything they can on Trevor Babin. Arnott towards the net. That was blocked. Knock him out of the other direction. Working on Parsons. Pulls up. He and Spintsov got their wires crossed on the exchange, so Graham moves out, put it in an area for Sim to skate into it. Parsons gets the red line, dumps it around. Johnson at the blue line. That one looked like it hit a rocker stick over the shoulder, but play on as Milam moves in. Comes back to Makima. Ryder. His pass off of Freeborn and back to center. Pitch to the far side boards. Conway first on it. His pass fanned on. Freeborn trying to get a step, but Tim Delaney back quickly to cut him off. Colton quickly up to Koash. 2-on-1 if they hurry. Koash fed it across, and they score. It's Glenn Robitaille tapping it home on the back door on the 2-on-1. And Motor City has taken a 4-1 lead. And what's starting to feel like a classic Motor City game, where the Prowlers bombard Trevor Babin with shots. He plays terrific. And then the Rockers take advantage of a few odd man rushes. All 3 of their goals in this second period have come on odd man rushes. And Motor City has opened up the 3-goal lead. Now Scantlebury works in 3-on-2 for the Prowlers if they hurry, and Scantlebury couldn't get a touch on that one as he was running to the post. Now down on the ice, slow to get up. Scantlebury back to his skates and having a chat with the referee. He's had a bit of a rough ride tonight. His first game back from a 2-game suspension. First he got jumped by Elias Thompson right at the start of the game. He got knocked down by Rotundi in the crease during this period. That drew a penalty, and you saw that rough ride right there. 62 seconds left in period 2. Schumacher at the line as we hit the final minute of play in the second period. Giuliano got a touch on that pass, but Schumacher out-hustles Delaney to the puck. Freeborn back up ice. Dangles his way in. His drop pass to Chartrand, take it away. Giuliano dumps it off the back wall. Schumacher and Sneath come together. Milam kept it in at the line. 30 seconds to go. Sneath tried to reverse and come back out in front. Now Giuliano. Colton tried to clap it at the blue line. He gets it back deep. Prowlers looking to work it out. One last rush with the final 10 seconds ticking off. Chartrand in for it. Tried to drop it back towards Freeborn. Giuliano took it away. He'll dump it all the way down. And that's going to do it for the second period of play. And through 40 minutes, it's the Rockers with a 4-1 lead on the Port Huron Prowlers. Shots on goal in that period favoring Port Huron 15-10. And it's 30-18 Prowlers for the game in shots on goal. But Trevor Babin has been fantastic in his net, and he's a huge reason why the Rockers have the lead right now. He has made 29 saves through just 2 periods of play. Stick around for the second intermission. We'll chat more about this game. We'll also take a look at the Prowlers' upcoming schedule. And again, we'll talk about why the Prowlers are down by 3 goals, what's been going on, and we'll do it all for you right here on the PHP Network. It's all coming up in the second intermission report. But first, secure your seats for the Prowlers' next home game as they host the Carolina Thunderbirds on Saturday, December 16th, with puck drop at McMorran Place scheduled for 6:05 p.m. Prowlers will be wearing specialty Christmas-themed jerseys. It will be the Teddy Bear Toss Night as well, as Port Huron will raise money for the Michigan Law Enforcement Torch Run for Special Olympics. And those game-worn jerseys will be up for auction, but you have to be in the building to bid on them. And those jerseys include a jersey with my name on the back, so be sure to get in and get the, what I'm sure might be the first ever broadcaster jersey auction. Get your tickets now. Again, you can scan that QR code on your screen or go to phprowlers.com/tickets. You can also call the box office during box office hours at 810-985-6166. Second intermission underway for 1 Motor City. We'll take a break. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
I've worked at Pioneer and now Corteva for 36 years. It goes by very quickly.
This is a pretty noble profession where you're giving back to humanity.
Curiosity is so important. I learn something new every day.
What's that next challenge that may occur for farmers? You do really feel like you've got an impact on what's coming.
I can see how we're making things better.
And we have the best solutions for our farmers. And I think we're here to feed and fuel the world. I'm proud to be part of that culture, and I'm proud to be part of the company.
Mac and cheese is up.
Mac and cheese pizza? Mac and cheese pizza.
That's right, the new mac and cheese pizza from Hungry Howie's. Mac and cheese, mozzarella, panko breadcrumbs, and our famous flavored crust. Only for a limited time.
Hungry
Howie's!
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should've just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com.
Second intermission rolling on here from Big Boy Arena. It's the Prowlers trailing the Motor City Rockers by a score of 4-1. Will Wiggleman with you on the PHP Network. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. And it's been the Trevor Babin Show, as we've seen a lot over the last season between these two teams. Prowlers up on shots 30-18, but it's the Rockers with the 4-1 lead, and it's following that similar formula that we saw a lot last season. Prowlers will dominate, get offensive zone time, get shots on net. Babin makes some spectacular saves and keeps his team in the game. And then the Rockers will move up the ice and get some opportunities on odd man rushes. And credit to them, they don't miss on odd man rushes. They are a very, very good team on the rush. And it just feels like the formula again tonight, as all three goals in that second period coming via rushes. First one, Delaney got the shot at the side of the crease, followed up by Giuliano. The second one, you saw Delaney, TJ Delaney again, coming up the right wing side this time, and he just beat Sokolov clean to the glove side, as Sokolov was worried about the guy coming down the backdoor side. And then the third goal, Kowash did make the pass over to the back door, and Glenn Robitaille able to tap it home. And that was all, again, in the second period, as the Rockers take advantage of their opportunities. Giuliano and TJ Delaney both with a goal and an assist. TJ Sneath with a couple of helpers in his second game as a Rocker. Now has a goal and 2 assists in a game in 40 minutes of his FPHL career. Played last year in the SPHL and has also played pro over in Sweden. And Josh Colton also has a pair of assists for the Rockers. We'll see if the Prowlers can turn things around here in the third period. Again, it's been the Trevor Babin show as he's been making some spectacular saves, including the one on Dalton Jay during that Prowlers power play when Matt Graham was able to sneak a pass through to Jay on the back door. But Babin slid across and made a spectacular stop to keep last year's leading goal scorer for the Prowlers off the board. Prowlers have some work to do in this third period. And when we come back, we'll take a look around the FPHL, the Prowlers' upcoming schedule, and we'll also take a look at the stats for tonight's game. And we'll do it for you in just a couple of minutes right here on the PHP Network.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
They're seriously not even that much better than you.
Should've just got a ticket from phprowlers.com.
I should have just bought tickets at phprowlers.com.
I got it!
I should have just got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
I should have got a ticket at phprowlers.com.
They should have just got tickets
at phprowlers.com.
Just finishing up the second intermission here at Big Boy Arena, 4-1 Rockers, as we were just about set for the final 20 minutes of regulation in what is the 6th meeting between the Prowlers and the Rockers this season. That means we're a third of the way through the season series of 18 games scheduled between these teams this year. Before we take a look at the numbers for tonight's game, let's look around at our out-of-town scoreboard. And well, Carolina has just gone off tonight offensively. 7-2 the score. Both Nolan Egbert and Samuel Levicius have been in net for Binghamton, and neither of them able to do too much against this Carolina attack. Joe Kennedy and Gus Ford have 3 points apiece. Jacob Schnapp, Peter Panacek, John Butita, Dawson Baker, all with multi-point games so far tonight, as the Thunderbirds are running away with that one through 40 minutes of play. Watertown has a 2-1 lead on Danbury through 20 minutes. Carter Thornton has both for the Wolves. Johnny Ruiz has the one for the Hat Tricks, as Watertown looking up at Danbury in the standings and looking to see if they can gain some ground here tonight on the road. Columbus River Dragons, who sit atop the Continental Division, got a goal from Carter Shinkarik in the first period. They have a 1-0 lead on the Mississippi Seawolves at the first intermission, and now dropping the puck in just a little while, the Baton Rouge Zydeco and the Blue Ridge Bobcats. It will be Greg Hussey and Christian Pavlis in net for their respective sides. And those are your scores around the FPHL. Another full slate of FPHL games tonight. Taking a look at the upcoming schedule for the Prowlers, the next game on the docket, as we've mentioned already, that Christmas game for the Prowlers next Saturday. Just a one-off game, no Friday game next week for Port Huron. 6:05 p.m. start against the Thunderbirds. And again, they'll be wearing those specialty Christmas jerseys. And then we look at the week before Christmas. See, Danbury is on the schedule as the Prowlers visit the defending champs. For the first time, they'll visit them again in March. It'll be 7:30 and 7 p.m. starts in Danbury. We'll have those for you here on the PHP Network. But going back to next weekend's Christmas game for the Prowlers against Carolina, they'll be wearing these specialty jerseys. Specialty pucks will also be available. They picked up some extra pucks this year, because last year they were sold out. So extra pucks will be available for sale, but be sure to get them quickly before they sell out, as that happened last year, and some people were left without pucks. So get to that game early, get your specialty Christmas pucks, and stick around after the game to bid on game-worn Christmas jerseys, and all of it to support the law enforcement torch run for Special Olympics Michigan. Turning our attention back to tonight's game, a 4-1 Rockers lead with the Prowlers with that 30-18 shots advantage. Port Huron did go 0 for 2 on the power play in that second period. Again, not for lack of trying. Trevor Babin made a number of phenomenal saves in that middle frame. But the last 2 shots, the Rockers had 2 shots in the final little under 9 minutes of that second period, and both of them were goals. So and the Prowlers outshot them 15-10 in the frame. We do have a little bit of a development here. We'll get to that in a second after we answer our PHP Network trivia question. Glenn Robitaille, who has a goal tonight, scored his first pro goal last night for Motor City. Who's the most recent Prowler to score their first pro goal? You had 4 options: Davide Gaeta, Brandon Picard, Tristan Sim, and the correct answer, Braden Deck, who scored his first pro goal on October 28th against the Mississippi Seawolves. He is the most recent Prowler with his first pro goal. Now, development I was telling you about. Ricky Gonzalez is now between the pipes for the Motor City Rockers. Trevor Babin came out as the backup. I'm not sure why. Maybe Babin with a little discomfort somewhere, but Gonzalez, who played the entire game last night, is now in net for Motor City. So an important development there, and maybe the Prowlers can take advantage. They did score twice on Gonzalez in the third period last night. They do need 3, and we're underway here in period 3. Sam Merritt chips it around Rotundi, heads after it. Kept it away from Milam. Comes up the wall to Elias Thompson. Johnson went through everyone, and Gonzalez touches it over to Rotundi. It's got Kowash. Rink wide feed out of the reach of Gaudette, and goes down for icing. So 37 seconds into period 3, Prowlers will have an offensive zone face-off. And you see Gonzalez there on your screen, still warming himself up a little bit, making sure he has his angles. Face-off one back by the Prowlers. Johnson wrists it through, he scores! The wrist shot through traffic caught the top corner. And in the opening minute of the third, the Prowlers have got themselves within 2. That was the first real shot Gonzalez faced in this period. And it beats him top corner. That's Alex Johnson's 5th goal of the year and his first at 5-on-5. And it gives the Prowlers some life. Schumacher dumps it in. Jay around towards Reiter. Muscled off by Foley. Scantlebury behind the net. Scantlebury walks up the wall. Couldn't get it deep. Makima got it just out, but Scantlebury swoops in to intercept. Chip behind the net. Reiter. Now Tim Delaney up the wall. Makima plays it back this side. Spintsov in on it. Over to Colton. Long lead pass tipped in by Sneath. And Sokolov leaves it there for Decumbus. Merritt off the glass and out. 2-on-3 as they hit the offensive blue line. Sneath takes the puck away. He'll turn back up ice, gives to Giuliano on the near side. Back to Sneath, into the forehand. Kick save by Sokolov. Arnott with his head up. Plays it over this side to Decumbus. Lead pass on to Picard at the red line. Dumps it in, Gonzalez. Even over, in front, they score! Arnott to Graham in front of the crease. Just over 2 minutes into the third, it's a 1-goal game. And shades of last night for Ricky Gonzalez. He thought about playing that puck. He instead just touched it and stayed in his net. Paul Arnott is going to get the primary assist. In his second game this season, filling in for the Prowlers. We have a 1-goal game. Here's Josh Colton dumping it in. Graham up to Freeborn. Cross corner dump. Battled for on the near side and chipped out. Schumacher back for it. Scantlebury touches it in. Rotundi off the glass. Glove down by Spintsov. Now Makima from the outside. Sokolov got the stick to it. Lead pass on for Scantlebury. 1-on-1 with Delaney. Drops it to the trailer, Johnson. Comes back behind the net. Scantlebury makes a move around Wells. Ryder swoops in for the puck. He sends it out, but out of play. Well, Prowlers think he just sent it directly out of play. We'll see if the referees agree, as they'll come together to talk about it. Prowlers captain Evan Foley wants to be involved in the conversation. And now they will take Ryder. Delay of game penalty to Brad Ryder. And the Prowlers to the power play. 3.5 minutes into the third. They've already scored 2 in the period. And a chance to tie it up. And actually they're putting Tristan Wells in the box, but it was Ryder who sent it out of play. And now finally they get the right man. Wells is saying, don't put that on my stat sheet. That wasn't me. So the Prowlers will send out Tucker Scantlebury's unit. 2 shots, 2 goals report here on in this period. And Scantlebury wins the faceoff to start the power play. 1 for 3 on the man advantage so far tonight. Comes across to Johnson. Scantlebury. Watched by Koash. Gives it to Johnson on the blue line. Lost the handle. And Makima will slowly skate up. Johnson swooping in for that loose puck. He'll work in. Scantlebury over to Freeborn. That pass just handcuffed him a little bit. And it's forced back to neutral ice. Johnson revving the engines. To Scantlebury. Across. Freeborn just did keep that puck in. He got a small touch on it. Doesn't matter though, as Spintsov clears it all the way down. Halfway through the power play. Merritt up the left wing side. Chips past Giuliano. Stopped there by Colton. Now Spintsov with a step on Decumbis. A good play by Vinny Decumbis to get back and touch that puck away. Sokolov, long lead pass, finds Graham working on Rotundi. Pulls up, waits for help. Instead it was Rotundi who got some assistance. And it's sent out. Here's Delaney now with a step. Delaney, another big defensive play by Decumbis, and Delaney goes crashing into Sokolov, and Sokolov is down on his back. And now some concern for the Prowlers netminders. The trainer, Bridget Smith, comes out to check on him. Second partial breakaway for Motor City, and looking back on it, Sokolov just reached out that right pad, and that's where Delaney went flying into, right into the right leg of Sokolov. We'll take a timeout and have some more Prowlers power play when we come back here on the PHP Network.
I'm proud to serve farmers because everything they do matters.
If I could choose one word to describe a farmer, I would say essential.
Dedicated.
Enterprising.
The most creative people.
They're providing food for the rest of the world.
Some of the qualities I look for when hiring is personality, perseverance, someone that's determined. We want to be able to hire someone that understands what we're supporting, and ultimately that's the grower.
Come fill McMorran Place at every Prowlers home game this season. General admission tickets are just $15 with discounts available for seniors, military, students, and children under 12. Upgrade your experience in one of our suites, or bring the whole squad to the game with discounts for groups of 10 or more. Find your best option to visit the Thumb Coast professional hockey team by visiting phprowlers.com and find the tickets tab, or call the box office at 810-985-6166. Secure your seats today.
So during that TV timeout, Makar Sokolov back to his feet and back between the pipes, so he seems to be okay. 24 seconds left on this Prowlers power play, which hasn't really gotten too much going. Motor City's actually gotten the better of the chances, and if not for Vinny DeCumbus, they would have had 2 breakaway shots on net. But DeCumbus came back to break up both of those plays. We'll have another face-off between Foley and Sneath after the false start last time. Milam gives it to Delaney. He just dumps it deep. Sneath in front looking for Delaney. Comes all the way back to Milam. His shot blocked by Evan Foley, who's down on the ice. He's sliding himself over to the Prowler bench. We're back to 5-on-5. Schumacher coming over to help Foley back to the bench. As that one looked like it hurt. Hopefully Evan Foley's okay. Parsons drops it to Scantlebury. His pass off a rocker skate. Johnson in. That shot off the stick and wide. Pops out into the crease. And the Prowlers just couldn't bang it home. Scantlebury out from the corner, sent it on. And Gonzalez made the save. Puck comes all the way back down where Arnott has it. Scantlebury kicks it in to negate the icing. Delaney plays it over to the far side. Conway had it tipped away from him by Graham, but he recollects. No shots on that power play for the Prowlers. They still trail by 1 as Johnson splits a couple of rocker forwards, but he couldn't get into offensive territory. Graham gloves it down. Arnott steps up to poke it away. He'll move up ice to Graham. Backhand try, stopped by Gonzalez. Lifted out, foot race for the puck. Schumacher will beat Milam there, play it off the wall. Freeborn on to Sim. From the outside, and Gonzalez makes the blocker save and flies the puck out of play. 12:43 left to go in the third period. If you're just joining us, Ricky Gonzalez replaced Trevor Babin at the beginning of the third period for reasons unknown. And the Prowlers scored 2 in the first couple minutes to get themselves back within 1. And Chartrand from the outside was stopped by Gonzalez. Rimmed around towards Deck. Comes back to Prowler territory. Schumacher almost gave it up, gets it back, and hands it on to DeCumbus. Played up the wall. Now in front, Merritt had his shot partially blocked away. And he cycles it deep. After it is Reiter. Gives it over to Rotundi, trying to play it in his feet. Puck comes out. Makima has it. Fired a pass across. Deflected away by Chartrand. Sneath. Out high. Colton. His shot stopped by Sokolov. Wells knocks it out of the air to keep it in. Tristan Wells around the net. Fires it high. Makima with a shot. Blocked by Chartrand with the stick. And it flies out of play. Offensive zone face-off coming for Motor City. Still 4-3. Sneath and Sim will take the draw. Colton fanned on the pass. Prowlers trying to chip it out. And Scantleberry picks it up, has Sim with him. Prowlers with numbers. Scantleberry across Sim, fanned on the shot. Johnson to Parsons. Wrists it through, deflected! And Gonzalez just able to make the save, sliding across. And Scantleberry put his man into the ice. But a high sticking penalty is coming up against Tucker Scantleberry. He'll head to the box, and the Rockers will get another opportunity on the power play to get their lead back to multiple goals. Motor City 1 for 2 on the man advantage so far tonight. They put 2 minutes up for Scantleberry for high sticking. Prowlers hoping to kill this one off and continue the momentum. Shots are just 5-3 for Port Huron in this period, but plenty of offensive zone time for the Prowlers. Chartrand able to find it and chop it down the ice. Koash through center, had it taken off his stick but gets it back before he's run into the wall by Matt Graham. Schumacher gets it on the backhand, dumps it all the way down. Colton and Chartrand chasing after it, and Gonzalez will stay in his crease. Sneath took a hit from Merritt, able to continue pushing through. Now it's Colton with the puck, walking the line, gives it to Koash. He shoots, and that one hits some traffic. Koash has it again, looking towards Giuliano, and off the broken play, Sneath got a shot on that I don't think got through to Sokolov. We're halfway through the third period and halfway through the Rockers' power play. Koash makes a move around to Cumbus. Over to Makima. Now Parsons rims it off the glass and out. Delaney playing it back in his own end, watched by Dalton J. Delaney has it again. Now Jay scooping up that loose puck. Working on Delaney, Jay to the net, he scores! Dalton Jay short-handed, and the Prowlers have tied it up. Short-handed goals in back-to-back games for the Prowlers, and this time it's Dalton Jay with his third of the year. And 19th shorthanded goal in his FPHL career. We have a new hockey game. 4-4, 9:20 left to go in the third period. Schumacher fires it all the way down. 15 seconds left to go in the Rockers power play. For the second straight night, a back-breaking shorthanded goal from Port Huron. As Graham sends it the length of the ice, that will take care of the rest of the power play. A very successful PK for the Prowlers as they take the tying goal off the stick of Dalton J. Robitaille has it in his skates, gives it off. Mylam tried the saucer pass to Conway. That was stymied by a sliding Alex Johnson. Conway has it again. Goes off the far side wall. Scantleberry leaves it for Chartrand. Johnson trying to join them. Chartrand to the net. And the rebound just went past Scantleberry. Sent back on goal. And Gonzalez will reach up to glove it down. 4-1 entering the third, 4-all with 8:11 to go in the period. We'll take a break. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network. Alex Johnson, Matt Graham, and now Dalton Jay. All scoring here in the third period to tie this game up for the Prowlers. 8:11 now left in regulation. As off the faceoff, Johnson just trying to keep it in. Sneath looking for the streaking Giuliano, who's behind the defense. Prowlers cut it off. TJ Delaney with another lead pass on for Giuliano. Puck knocked off his stick though. Now Freeborn with a step. Gets to the net. Couldn't complete the play to the backhand. That's TJ Delaney working out. Chips it deep. Goes into the corner with Parsons. They work on the near side wall. Comes out to Jay, the most recent goal scorer. Jay makes a move. Gets it on the backhand, and Gonzalez just got a glove on that shot. Milem up to Makima. Taken off his stick by Frank Schumacher. Here comes DeCumbus. Took a hit from Milem. Pops out, Schumacher with a shot! And that one couldn't find the cage. Ryder. Up towards Svintsov. Sent it on towards Makima. Rockers were offside. They had to touch back up. Schumacher backhand pass to DeCumbus. 3 Rockers to meet him at the blue line. Gives to the outside Picard. Had his shot blockered away. Robitaille back in. Pass off a skate. So Colton recollects. Head up. Had his pass knocked down. Chip back to Prowler territory. Arnott trying to muscle off Robitaille. Comes to Koash on the wall, sent it towards the net, knocked away by Alex Johnson. Lead pass on to Picard, plenty of Rockers back. And it pops back towards Sim. Let's go Rockers chants coming down from the crowd. Scantleberry knocked down. They'll keep the arms down, play goes the other way. Sokolov gives it over to Schumacher. Wells blocked away that long lead pass. Now it's Parsons. Up to Scantleberry. Jay tried to touch it on. He has it back. Scantleberry again. The outside shot. I think that hit the side of the cage or Gonzalez. Wells bumped up by Freeborn. Now Schumacher makes one move, makes another, still with the puck. Drop pass to Jay. Curls back across to Freeborn, moves the backhand, and Gonzalez has it in the breadbasket. He'll hang on for a whistle, and Scantleberry getting tied up with Tristan Wells. Shots in this third period favoring the Prowlers 8-3, or make it 9-3 now. 3 goals on those 9 shots for Port Huron in this final frame. All on Ricky Gonzalez. Graham and Ryder into the face-off circle. Delaney, it's Tim Delaney trying to work it out. Johnson, back off the wall to Graham. DeCumbus looking for Picard. It's cut off by Milam. Braden Deck dangling through center. Puck just slides into offensive territory. Graham with it. Saved by Gonzalez. The rebound. He scores! Matt Graham with his second of the period. And the Prowlers have come all the way back to take a 5-4 lead with 4.5 to play. Graham following up his own rebound. There's a weird little play on the zone entry, as I think Ryder was going for the hit on Deck. Deck just kind of let the puck go. A rocker stepped on the puck, and Graham found it. The first backhand shot was stopped, and the rebound over the goal line, and the Prowlers now have the lead. Robitaille trying to change that. Feeds it out high to Colton. Sauces it down low, deflected, kick save by Sokolov, readjusting at the last moment. Freeborn backhands it towards Jay in the slot. Comes down below the goal line. Freeborn lost his footing. Koash back up. Koash down towards Robitaille. Around to Conway. He fanned. Now Chartrand one-on-one with Wells. Gets to his forehand. His shot right into Gonzalez. And he'll hang on for a whistle. And then Wells gives a little extra shove to Dan Chartrand, who has the nose for the crease. And that will get him in a little bit of trouble sometimes with opposing defenses. 3:39 left to go in regulation. It's the Prowlers with a 5-4 lead. You're watching Port Huron Prowlers hockey on the PHP Network.
Mac and cheese is up.
Mac and cheese pizza? Mac and cheese pizza.
That's right, the new mac and cheese pizza from Hungry Howie's. Mac and cheese, mozzarella, panko breadcrumbs, and our famous flavored crust. Only for a limited time.
Hungry
Howie's! We invite you to tune in to our next broadcast next Saturday, a week from today, when the Prowlers take on the Carolina Thunderbirds. Puck drop scheduled for 6:05 p.m. Pre-game show starts at 5:50. It's all right here on the PHP Network. But if you can get there, bring a teddy bear. It's Teddy Bear Toss Night next Saturday at McMorran Place. Johnson wristed through. That went off a stick and wide. Johnson down to keep it in. In front, Chartrand. And stopped by Gonzalez. TJ Delaney led on for Giuliano. Pops out towards Alex Johnson. Chartrand, or that's Scantleberry, excuse me, down behind the play. It's Chartrand who dumps it in. Wells fed up to Milam. Schumacher kicks it along, or DeCumbus is able to pick it up. He's knocked down. Scantlebury takes the puck and backhands it deep, under 3 to play. Wells off the glass, comes all the way down. Parsons trying to knock it away from Conway. Fed to the middle of the ice. Robitaille kicked it down deep. Picard has it now. There's Schumacher. Gives to Parsons. Up to Picard. Off the wall, right to Merritt. Now Kowash takes it away. Fed on to Robitaille. Enters offensive territory. He's pushed off by Jay. Johnson takes the puck. Merritt has a couple of purple sweaters in front of him, so he'll dump it deep and head off for a change. As the Prowlers get fresh troops on with 2:10 to go. Svintsov up the right wing side. Just fires it on net, steered away by Sokolov. That's the first shot on net for a while from the Rockers. Nearly 10 minutes without a shot for Motor City. As Jay sends it up to Freeborn. Gonzalez still in the net. Freeborn gets to the middle of the ice. He's knocked down. A penalty coming up. And the Prowlers to the power play with the lead and 1:40 to go. And Liam Freeborn, with all his skill, Matt Graham talked about it in his quarter season report, which we saw during the first intermission tonight, and can see anytime once we upload it after the game on the PHP Network YouTube channel. Used his skill to get to the middle of the ice. And he draws the penalty against Josh Colton. Prowlers send out the power play unit. A 1:40 on the clock and 2 minutes on the penalty clock. The Prowlers will try and use this quality power play to just run it out. Sim couldn't play it up. Wells sends it the length of the ice. Keep an eye on Gonzalez, see if he decides to leave the net for the extra attacker. Schumacher makes a move. Makes another. Frank Schumacher's in. Backhand pass, but it was almost behind Sim. Fired back out. Johnson keeps it ahead of him. Sim couldn't tip it along. Milam onto Makima, right back. Final minute of play. Milam winds and fires right into Sokolov, and he'll hang on for a whistle. 58.4 seconds to go. And no sign of Ricky Gonzalez going to the bench for an extra attacker. And a timeout being called by Motor City. And I know what the first reaction is going to be for people who have been watching this game, Motor City fans, anyone who saw the box score and saw the goaltending time splits between Gonzalez and Trevor Babin. They'll say the Prowlers may have only won this game because Babin came out. While that may be partially true because Babin was doing everything he could to keep the Rockers in the game through the first 40 minutes, bottom line is Motor City has been outshot 41-23 for the game, 11-5 in this third period, as the Prowlers scored 4 in this third period. The Rockers really haven't generated much offensively, and they were playing the Babin can save us method, which has worked for them in the past, worked for them against the Prowlers in the past, and worked for them for the first 40 minutes as they're a team that takes advantage of a few odd man rushes a game. But in this third period, the Prowlers kept pouring on the shots. They finally started to go in on Gonzalez, who is now on the bench, so an extra attacker out there for Motor City. But the Prowlers on the power play, so it's 5-on-5 with the net empty and the goal to our right. Johnson surrounded. He'll play it up the wall. Kowash from the point. Shot stopped by the stick of DeCumbus, lands in the far corner. They dig away. Back to the corner, the puck comes. Merritt just able to chip it out, and that one will die, so no icing. 30 seconds to go. Svintsov gives it to Milam. Svintsov on the left wing side. Gives it over to the middle. Puck sits down there. Now behind the net. 15 seconds left. It's rimmed up the boards. The arm is up for icing, but it won't go the length. 10 seconds to go. Milan winds and fires. Hit his own man Sneath at the Prowler blue line, and Picard is going to miss the empty net. And I think Brandon Picard is going to get a few chirps about that from his own teammates, but the final score, the Prowlers come back to win 5-4 in Motor City. They sweep the weekend. And what a couple of games for Port Huron. Chris Paulin talked about last night the confidence boost that his team needed from the victory last night. They'll surely get a big confidence boost after tonight's game, a game where they outplayed the Rockers, frankly, and Motor City just could not be saved by their netminder. They were saved by Trevor Babin through the first 40 minutes, but Ricky Gonzalez came in the third and could not continue to save the Rockers. And the Prowlers make a 3-goal comeback, 4 in the third. They take all 3 points tonight, and they move to 7-6-2. 22 points now for Port Huron. The Rockers, all of a sudden, they've dropped 4 in a row. 9-4-3 now, and big victory, couple of victories this weekend for Port Huron as they get set for the Carolina Thunderbirds next weekend. Of course, that is our next broadcast, 6:05 p.m. puck drop, 5:50 pregame. But more importantly, if you can get to that game, bring a teddy bear. That is the Prowlers Teddy Bear Toss Night. So be sure to get your tickets for that one and get to the game. But first, let's go back through tonight's game, as Brandon Picard got the scoring started on the power play after Elias Thompson jumped Tucker Scantleberry about 8 seconds in. Picard able to get the power play goal, and the Prowlers took a 1-0 lead just 3 minutes and 40 seconds in. Declan Conway tied it up with a power play goal of his own. He just whipped a shot from the corner that found its way in. So we were tied up at 1 after 1, and then the second period belonged to Motor City, at least on the score sheet. Prowlers outshot the Rockers 15-10 in the second period, but Jonathan Giuliano, TJ Delaney, and Glenn Robitaille all scored on odd man rushes to give the Rockers a 4-1 lead heading into the third. Then Trevor Babin came out for unknown reasons. Ricky Gonzalez went in, and the Prowlers took advantage. Alex Johnson scored 42 seconds in. Matt Graham got another just a couple minutes later. Dalton Jay, short-handed, tied it up. And then Graham, with his second, was the game winner with under 5.5 to play. And those last 2 goals by Jay and Graham, both unassisted. Third star of the game, Jonathan Giuliano with a goal and an assist. Dalton Jay, the second star, with a goal and 2 helpers. And Matt Graham with 2 goals and an assist. Your first star tonight as the Prowlers overcome a 4-1 deficit to take down the rival Motor City Rockers. The second game in a row they've overcome a multi-goal deficit against the Rockers, and they sweep the weekend 5-4, your final tonight. That's going to do it for me. For Sam Gagnon running the camera, I'm Will Wiggleman. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. We'll see you next time on the PHP Network.